Hey everyone, Todd here. So in this video, we are going to look at Google Sheets. First, we're going to look at how to open up a new Google Sheet, and then we're going to look at the interface, the different parts of the interface. So there's a couple ways that you can start creating a new Google Sheet. You can go from Google Drive. So if you sign in and you're in Google Drive, you can go to the New button up in the top left corner, drop that down, and you can go down to Google Sheets, and you have the option to create a blank spreadsheet or a spreadsheet from a template. In this case, we're going to create a blank spreadsheet, and then it opens up a blank spreadsheet. So that's one way of doing it. Next, we're going to look at a different way of doing it just by typing in the address and going directly to Sheets. So from any web browser, you can type in sheets.google.com. So what that does is that brings you to the Sheets homepage. And from here, you have the template gallery. So you can choose pre-existing templates that can help you get started. There's a bunch of different ones, like you've got budgets and calendars. We'll take a look at some of the other ones that we have here. We'll scroll down, you can see there's calendars, there's travel planners, financial statements. So a whole bunch of different spreadsheets that you can choose from that are already pre-populated, so you don't have to build them from scratch. So to go back to our homepage, we just select the arrow up in the top left corner. And so one of the options is a blank spreadsheet. So that's what we're going to do in this case. So we're going to click the blank spreadsheet, and here we are at our spreadsheet. So the first thing we'll want to do is to give the spreadsheet a name. So we go up in the top corner here. You'll see it says by default untitled spreadsheet. So we'll just call this, we'll make a grade book. So spreadsheets are made up of a combination of columns, which are designated by the letters, the A, B, and C, D that you see here, and by rows, which are designated by numbers. See the different rows that we have here. And so where those two intersect is what's called a cell. So if we click right here, this cell that we see here is designated as C4. So if you remember the game Battleship, or if you've ever played that, it's similar to that. You're to designate that spot, you do a combination of the column reference and the row reference. Down on the bottom, we have the Sheets tab, and this is where we can add additional sheets. We can have multiple sheets in our Sheets program. So right now, by default, we have Sheet 1. And if we drop this little arrow next to the name there, we can duplicate the sheet. We can copy to a new sheet. We can rename the sheet. We can change the color. So we'll pick blue here, and it gives it a little color indication. And we can protect the sheet, and this means that it'll let us lock it so that people can't make changes to it. So we can also click over here to the arrow to the left of the Sheet tab and click that, and that'll let us create another sheet. So now we can have multiple sheets that we go back and forth just by clicking on the tab. The nice thing with the Google Apps is that they save automatically, so you don't have to go like you normally would on other programs and go to File and save. They just save automatically. So that's definitely a nice feature. So let's take a tour of the different parts of Sheets. If you've used a program like Microsoft's Excel spreadsheets, Google Sheets are very similar. So you have the menu bar up at the top, and you have a bunch of different options. Once you click on one of the menu bar items, it'll expand, and then you have a number of different options under that. So we're not going to go through every single item. We will cover some of the more important ones, or the ones that you'll use more frequently later in the training. But for now, you can take a look at this and you can go through and you can just see for yourself what some of the different items are that are under the menu item. Below the menu bar, we have the toolbars. So the toolbars are icons that represent some of the common commands. And you can go through, once you mouse over it, it gives you a little indication of what that menu item will do. So you can also hide the menu and expand the menu by clicking this arrow over to the right. And then you can expand it back. So underneath the menu bar is the formula bar. So this is where you're going to be creating formulas. This is where you can enter text, you can enter numbers, or you can enter what's called cell references. So how we had that example of C3, that's called a cell reference.
So hopefully this video's given you a little bit better idea as far as Google Sheet, how to create a new one, and then the interface. Also how rows, columns, and cells work within the Google Sheet. Make sure to check out our other videos in the series on using Google Sheets. Thank you.